I have homework to do.
Well, nope. We're doing it now. Hello, everyone. This is Jordan and AJ from the Warhammer Enjoyer with Adepticon literally less than 24 hours away. We've been cooking up since we started playing Warhammer some changes we would like to see in 11th edition. Some of these are pretty cool. Some of these are fucking dog shit. I'm gonna jump into my fucking crackhead idea. Let's bring back the psychic phase. Now I know at a very easy glance, a lot of the psychic abilities that we have in Warhammer only happen in the attack phase. So a legitimate counter argument against bringing back the psychic phase is like, what does there have to offer? So we need something to make this worthwhile. I'm going to come up with my own system, which is basically just a half-baked version of the AoS or Old World system. Just use the AoS magic system to implement this. I don't know how GW feels about like intergame rules, how they feel about intergame models, but just use the fucking AoS magic system. If we're not going to do this, we're just going to steal it all. Have 2 to 3
I'm
power
gonna say
levels.
we're gonna be saying that quite a lot. Steal from AOS.
Just steal from AOS. Basically 2 to 3 power levels of a Psyker. Like if you look at some of the librarian lore for the Space Marines, you know, not every Space Marine becomes a librarian. There's like steps to that, and those power levels equate to like casting values. So psychic powers have a casting value that needs to be met. Let's say you have to do ability, you got to roll an 8, so you can roll 2d6, and then based off the power level of the Psyker, you get to add 1 to that roll. Right now, we have 1 cast per Psyker for phase. Yes, there's going to be Psyker duels. This is just a theoretical framework for a video that I'll iron out the details in. My biggest change, though, is I think a failed cast on that psychic ability means that the actual Psyker itself takes the mortal wounds. They've pierced into the warp. They've failed to protect themselves. Let them take the damage. The damage should scale with the power attempted, with the ability attempted. So like obviously if I'm trying to like, you know, protect my allies with a void shield or some shit like that, that's gonna be more intenseful than I don't know, whatever a damage one ability would be. The damage goes first to the Psyker, then to the squad. Once again, you're piercing into the veil. You know, I think the gimmick of character models dealing mortals to allied bodyguard units is kind of cheapy and gimmicky. But anyway, what the fuck is this shit gonna even look like? So this is straight from the wiki. Possibility shield, using his understanding of future events and his perception of the flow in time, the librarian is able to surround himself and nearby allies. And a possibility shield, which can make certain events more likely and others, such as being injured or slain, less so. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a 4-up invul save. Let's give your librarian the ability to give a 4-up invul save to a squad of units for whatever duration of time, and you know that's pretty fucking crazy. So you got to roll like a 10. Or you got like onslaught from the Xanthropes. They send out like a burning energy beam. You know, maybe that's like a maybe that's what two. So maybe that's an 8-up. You know, this is just some ideas based in the lore because you can have like I don't know how to explain it. Like you know in Skyrim, how like every like you know you got destruction, every like a like every spell school of magic has like that the orb attack. You know, fireball, lightning ball, that shit. Maybe Skyrim was a bad example, but every faction should basically have access to the same spell types, like giving invulsives, casting damage, improving the attack characteristics of your models for a turn. Everyone should have that, but that should be flavored appropriately. I think I've spent too much time on this ability idea.
No. I kind of agree with you on that. I
Like
think
there
like
there
every
is there is room to
like
do
I feel like
this.
there should be if they keep it detachments
Yep.
for the next edition, that each detachment should have like a unique magic item or
Yeah.
magic like whatever
And
or
there's
psychic
like even
whatever.
with the Space Marines, there's like different lores of psychic abilities. Like there's so many like different ways you can take this, and I think it would just be really cool. I think it also give like the Eldari some cool shit. On the front of this page, you guys know the guys in the bottom right here. That's like a psyker for the League of Votan. I didn't even know they fucking had that shit until I did this research. Like I think the psychic phase, if you give abilities to your units, would be a meaningful way to do this. Okay. AJ, any
Yeah,
thoughts?
no, I agree. I'm not
Cool.
gonna argue against you.
Sweet. If you're not going to give us this, Anti-Psycher should apply to demons. There's no keyword interaction with Psycher in 40k in 10th edition. I've played so many fucking games, a lot with AJ, some Corn, a couple Tau games, League of Votan. there's no like Anti-Psycher comes up 0 times. Now, why do I have a list of faction win rates? Yes, I understand Chaos Demons have like a 36.7% win rate, and this might be unfair to them, but like it
First
would
of all,
go it would go
Chaos,
both it would go
Chaos
both ways.
Demons,
It would go both ways.
Chaos Demons, first of all, should get way more love in 40k, and should get way more focus,
They're not.
because
Bro,
not
they just got
only do they
indexed.
have a
Then we got the
massive
Mono Gauntlet.
focus,
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I feel like it should.
No, they're gonna get indexed, bro. No way.
Listen, we managed to save Death Watch here for this edition. Is it probably gone the like 11th
Oh
edition?
yeah. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not saying. I'm not
but
saying demons are gonna be gone 11th. They probably won't exist by probably 13th edition because AOS will probably take over with like demon sales and that shit like that.
no, but like I think it's dumb though, because I think like because demons exist in 40k. I don't understand why they don't get more love. Because some of them, I mean, Vashtor is a demon, and he's
Right, but no, no,
wonderful.
no, no.
He's a
But like
solid.
demons and demon engines are two different things.
n-
Okay, but okay,
Vashtor's a demon.
Vashtor's a 40k demon though, right? Like you can't take
Yeah,
that and go run that in AOS. I'm making a very
no,
productive statement here and saying that they are like not doing demon shit anymore in 40k to then push that over so people buy AOS demon stuff because there's no like restrictions in AOS for like demon lists or anything like that. I think this is a slow rollout of this.
saying is that I don't want them to get it. I want them to get more love.
Okay.
And I kind of hope that like they do get that. That like units like Bellacore and units like the Great Unclean Ones
No,
and all that,
okay, sorry.
it sort of buffs in the
I
next
phrased
edition.
this wrong. AJ, I agree with you. The only love that this faction is gonna get is a mercy killing from Games Workshop.
Darn,
All right,
you
AJ.
you were no love. But
Oh,
now
AJ
it's
made this
time
slide.
to talk about my dream. More unique weapons.
Dude, a
I
bolter's a
do not want to
bolter.
see. Not just even with the bolter. I'm not saying we need to go back to like previous editions where each sort of where plasma weapons have each individual thing for you your plasma or for your hell blasters.
Okay.
What I am saying is though is that I don't want to see the blanket term power weapons to be seen or just regular bolter to be seen, right? Like if I'm running a captain character, I want my captain character to have some unique weapons options. I'm not saying I need to be, running my captains like with, you know, some niche thing here, right? Like we're giving him like a power, I don't know, power baseball bat, right? But, let them run power axes. Let them run power spears, single power claws. In Horus Heresy, which is my favorite word of the day, Jordan probably rolled his eyes when I mentioned it.
Dude, why do
They
you
got
take
a
me as
lot
a
of
Horus
options.
Heresy hater, bro? If I had 8,000 fucking dollars, I'd go buy a whole army right now.
They can, okay, because like for Horus Heresy, you can give your characters chain swords, heavy chain swords, chain axes, like chain fit, two different types
Right.
of chain
So
fists.
I'm gonna make a statement here. 40k Horus Heresy exists because of what 40k is now.
We gotta talk about what 40k is
No,
now.
no, no. But
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 is it,
like but like I need you to understand that Horus Heresy is the way that it is because people want to play 7th edition. For Warhammer 40k 10 like it's like WoW, it's like retail WoW and WoW Classic. Okay? Like like people want to play
yeah,
WoW Classic, so they're gonna play WoW Classic. 40k retail will never be like WoW Classic because WoW Classic was created because people didn't want to play retail. Okay? So to
exactly,
fundamentally
exactly.
change
You said it.
40k
You
is
said
you
it.
are changing something that will not change because they are fundamentally two different products.
Look, I'm not saying that necessarily yet that we need to rechange the whole game. But I'm just saying though is that like I don't see much of a reason why like we have to be so uniform with this. Throw some pizzazz in there. If you want to give, a power fist like times two for strength, whatever like the toughness of a unit is. Let's say like it's toughness five, and you want it to like get like tough, like do that. Be
What?
wacky with it.
What the fuck did you give your fucking hero a strength 10 axe?
No power fist.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Let's be like again. That's just an example. Does not need to actually happen.
Bro is smoking
But I'm just
crack right
saying.
now.
Don't I don't want to see blank power, like just power weapon or just heavy bolt pistol. I know that like stuff is coming that has come out like the Crucible of Champions that fleshes it out somewhat, but like that should just be in the
Yeah,
base
but like
game.
it's like like it doesn't matter if it's a power axe, power speed. Like you want these all to have different profiles or different names.
Yeah, different
Bro,
profiles.
that if that's gonna take forever to balance.
It doesn't
And
matter
I
to
sound like
balance.
a GW dick rider saying that, but like that's a
You
reason
are,
why you realize that that issue is why they're all called power weapons.
but I think that's boring.
Okay, so
I
go play
feel
Horus
like
Heresy.
maybe I will. Maybe I
Maybe you should
will.
teach me to play fucking Horus Heresy so we can play some Horus Heresy.
You know what? I think it's funny that you mentioned it because you know what else is like Horse Heresy?
What?
What you brought up next.
Whoa! Bring it back! Weapon gear costs! No, it's actually very funny how our independent ideas kind of synergize with one another. I think you should bring back weapon gear costs, which kind of synergizes with more unique weapons. Basically, what's up? From my experience, optimal loadouts are brought to basically every game. I'm bringing no bolters, two splayers, two mythetic blade haulers, two meltas, three plague weapons, champion with plasma pistol, heavy power fist, and I have been bringing that to every fucking game I've played since the start of this edition. Well, before the Plague Fist got shifted over to the Power Web Fist, whatever. Yeah, whatever, you know what I mean. Um,
Look at that.
but like I've been bringing the same shit. Um, I think this would make loadout selections more impactful and give us some of that, weapon selection oomph. And I do think that the benefit of this would be lower prices of some units. So right now, a 10-man brick of Plague Marines are 190 points because what they do is being judged at the competitive level with this max optimized loadout. I think we could live in a world where if you bring all bolters, they're a little bit cheaper, and then make them a little bit more expensive with max special weapons. I think this would be a good way to balance oppressive units or models in a way that would be productive for everyone and fun because like I literally just I use the copy and paste button so much in any app builder. I don't know, AJ, what do you think?
I actually agree with you a lot on this, and it does bring up a point that I want to bring up here. Like, certain weapons should like cost more,
Oh, they
and
should.
like it feels like it should bring in some more individuality in this.
Hmm.
Let the combi weapons like have different values because they're gonna be different combi weapons. Let me have a combi weapon that has a bolter and a plasma gun on it, or a melta and a plasma
I don't think
or
we're gonna get it that much, but that sounds more like you want to play Horus Heresy.
keep on saying that, and guess what? I
It's never
throw it right
happened.
back at you. But either way, though, I do think weapon cost makes sense to do
Hmm.
because sometimes, like again, it brings more like uniqueness to how you want to
Yeah.
run your army, right? Because I feel like at this point, some of the armies play too similar as is. Like Chaos Space Marines and Space Marines, like Chaos Space Marines, and like so on and so forth. And I think that doing this can bring in more flavor to the game that's it's kind of lacking right now.
For real. Let's add some flavor. All right,
Yeah,
AJ.
bring in some now here's a little bit of a spicier take. Charge rolls like AoS. Now, I'm guilty of this, but I want to bring this up here. Um I'm especially bad with rerolls. and I typically always like to reroll my charge rolls, but that's because I misuse it a lot here because I always think like I need to charge like whatever I can within 9 inches. I think that like for AOS, at least how they do it, where you roll your dice like first and then you see what you can charge is kind of better. I kind of like how it is. Me and Jordan and our friend Leo here, we all play a lot of um uh,
Warhammer,
food. Well, not just Warhammer, but Age of Sigmar's like starter box sets.
your spearhead.
I forget Spearhead. Thank you. I forgot the name Spearhead for a
That's
minute.
nuts, bro. We are
Yell at
the
me in the
glue
comments.
eaters, bro.
Just a little bit. But I like Spearhead. I like playing a lot of Spearhead with you guys, and I think it's fun. And I enjoy how charges are done in a game like Spearhead compared to a game like 40K, where it's a lot harder to do like a successful charge roll.
I feel like this might change 40k at like a mindset level
Maybe, but
because
again,
because
that's
a
like
lot of
that's kind
like
of the point of a.
positioning because a lot of the way that the charges in 40k is like you kind of set up your charge so you can hit your target. If I can kind of just roll a dice, well, I'm not saying I have the same mind. I just feel like this would like, oh, I'm just gonna W key my unit up the board because I'll be able to hit any fucking charge target I want. It sounds like actually a bitch ass argument. I take that back. That's a Ingronus L argument.
It's okay. I don't think it's an L argument.
All right, here's a bit of an argument. Uh, Battleshock needs to do more.
I don't
Um,
feel like this is a hot take at
I
all
don't
for
know, dude.
anybody.
I think we might be too
I
fucking
haven't met anybody
stupid.
who
I think we
thinks
might be
Battleshock does
dumbasses, dude.
anything.
We don't even use the cover system when we play 40k, dude.
That's
We are fucking jankum huffers,
okay.
bro. I
We
do
are.
think with making battle shocks do more, there needs to be multiple battle shocks attempts. I don't know why the fuck this spooky Night Lords detachment or whatever the fuck just came out, where it's like, oh, you can only take one
Then
battle shock. Like you can't be forced. No, 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 no. I should be able to force my opponent to make 8 battle shocks in a row. And if anyone complains about that wasting time, this multi-million-dollar company can playtest this game for more than 5 minutes. I think BattleShocks should do more things. I don't really know. These are just a couple ideas. I think because
I like the -1 to hit.
well, because they're scared the shit out. Like if you can shake a Space Marine, these fuckers should not be hitting on threes anymore. Make these fuckers hit on fours. Melee into fours. Reduced movement and charge rolls. I would say that a BattleShock unit can't move or charge. I would even go out there and say that because really losing OC and no strats on a unit like Death Shroud, that does not matter because they're still whatever
Yeah,
the fuck they're gonna go into is gonna like you're gonna fucking fuck shit up. I think not being able to
yeah.
make units move or have reduced movement or no charge or reduced charge rolls, this punishes battle shocks as they
I
should be
feel like
punished.
Battleshock, at least as is, only really works in very niche situations, such as like, oh no, I need to Overwatch something.
And scoring the objective, but we're oblivious to that fact.
Well, even if so, how many times do like like those units that you want to Overwatch? They're not always like the units that you're like,
Yeah.
oh no, they're Battleshock.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've fucking ever been had a unit that was battle shocked, and then I was like, oh fuck, I got Overwatch. Oh no, I can't Overwatch. Oh, battle shock, it got me here. All right, uh, AJ, on to this one.
More units should have Scout. I think that like units like bikers here or like outriders or units with jump packs such as like the assault intercessors on jump packs or the raptors and warp talents should have scout as one of their core abilities. And I don't know, I think like maybe this is just me being me, but like I think they should because they are already fast attack units and they don't feel always that fast attack. You
Yeah.
know, I want to. I guess maybe it's just me being me who wants to have like aggressive units that are pushed forward, and I feel like that's the direction that 40k is going. So I would want this. I would want units that I feel like can play aggressive. You know, that make me push like more further up the line and get into combat
Yeah.
compared to just kind of holding back.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. I feel like scout units are always like really I think more things should get scout, and scout units should be cheaper. Because
I'd
usually,
agree.
as far as I know, we don't have a scout unit with heavy weapons. As far as I know, I don't think assault, like the ones that fly and got the really like they look like anti-aircraft guns on their hands.
Oh, the suppressors?
Yeah, I don't think those have the scout move. But like outside of those, like like just make these things cheaper. They're gonna die anyways. It's really fun to have a bunch of scout units come flying at you and shoot them down. But usually when you do that, like like an eighth of your opponent's list is gone. Just give things more scout and make things cheaper. But it is
It
interesting
just,
because
yeah.
what is this, a war game or a skirmish game? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But now you have a spicy take that I'm
Give
interested to
me
hear.
yeah this Bolters, give Bolters AP -1 again. I do know that the Piss Marines or the Iron Glue Eaters did this. One of you fuckers had some detachment that gave you +1 AP, so Bolters were AP -2, and you had sustains. One of you shitters did this back in 6th or 7th. I remember a thread, some old head I used to work with at work told me about this. Bolters fucking suck. I don't think anyone in their mom takes a fucking bolter on like unless you are forced to. If there's a bolter and there's a plasma gun, I'm taking the plasma gun. Bolters suck. Intercessors suck. Not having AP sucks. Um AP -1 makes them feel punchy. I don't think cultists should be saving on bolters, but like, it's 40k, so it's not realistic. I don't like you always like reading the Night Lords trilogy, man, or like the fucking Lords of Silence, Space Marines are going down in 1, 2, or 3 bolter rounds, and at 1 damage each, you need that AP -1 to push that 3 save to a 4 up. That's just what I think. I think bolters do not lack the punch for the way that they're depicted in media. And when I went from playing Death Guard to Space Marines, it I hate bolters on the tabletop. They feel so weak. Give them AP -1, make them feel punchy, balance the game around it, make this happen for fuck's sakes.
I like this take. I
Thank
think
you.
it's different. I don't know how I would feel about like this necessarily because I still feel like they're a little flimsy, but I think it would help like, giving them that -1 AP.
Yeah, I just they just feel so flimsy. Like Space Marines into Space Marines just feel so flimsy.
Okay, good. Hey, you know what? Fair enough. I
All
mean,
right.
you ran out Space Marine a couple times. You've seen how
Yeah,
intercessors are.
yeah. All right, hit him, Will.
My spicy take. Decide on what 40k actually is. Is it a skirmish game? Is it quick? Is it like under like 2, 3, like under 2 hours to do a game, and you play multiple games? And units are just like priced like kind of like heavier set, or is it a war game where units are kind of like really meticulously like picked at, and you bring a whole lot of like a whole lot of units, and you play for a long ass time? I Listen, I'm a super casual fan. Okay, I play super casual. I like walking around. I like kind of like looking at other people's armies, and I like kind of talking to my friends
This
when I
is
play
this
the
is
game.
AJ in the picture. This is AJ in the picture right here.
Yes, it really is. It really is. So I think that would just be something that I think they should do. I think they need to decide whether this is going to be something that they need to shorten or something that they need to make longer. You know?
Yeah, I would agree with you on this one. I think coming into this, for especially my first tabletop experience, having these veterans flat out say like, "Yeah, Warhammer 40k is a really bad tabletop game." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, it's a great like 40k is awesome, all, but like playing this game sucks." So it kind of speaks
And,
volume to this split
and again,
identity.
like this is me saying this. I want to play like I'm fine playing one game throughout a whole day. I don't really need to play like 2 or 3 games
I need
of Warhammer
Warhammer
in a
game to
day.
me, guys. It's like a post-sex cigarette. I need it. I need this shit. I'd run a combat patrol right now.
See, hard disagree. I like to play like a long game. Like I like the 3,000 point games that we play because then I could just leave the table for a little bit, have a snack, do whatever, walk around, and then come back to it and keep going.
You can still do that in a normal game, bro.
You say that, but like the whole idea of this though is that like the game's kind of built right now for you to be like move quicker,
Yeah.
because overall like playing at like some of the our local game store, you know we play like maybe for 3 hours, right?
Well, that's because I kind of shoot you off the board. Um,
Th-
no, our first game was damn near 5 hours.
Maybe, yeah.
I, I,
I'm just saying.
I think 3 hours, AJ, is still a long time for a game. That is a long time to be doing something.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm just saying though is that I want to make this clear. Like I want like if I like longer games, okay,
Okay.
and I don't want the game to get really much shorter. I want this to feel more like I bring a whole bunch of
Okay,
units
so you
and
are a
you bring
fan
a
of the
whole
long.
bunch of
Okay,
units.
okay, okay.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay. No, I fuck with that. I respect that
Yeah, I
actually.
at least that's what
I respect that.
because again, I have fun with the 3,000 point games because people bring in wild shit. I like the apocalypse games, even if their tables are crowded. I like seeing what people bring in, like all the wacky units. Is it ridiculous to see a Warhound Titan on the board? Yes. Is it fun to see it? Absolutely.
Real. AJ, that's incredibly based of you.
I like it. I
Um,
I like beefy armies.
dude, based as shit. A little bit of another AOS stealing idea. This one's kind of like a no-brainer, but it's pretty niche. I could think of. I actually had to go googling models for this because I thought I had such a. Oh, I was like, oh, this is such a like this happens so much often, right? There's very few. So what this is AOS damage spillover for torrent weapons. So those like AP -1, damage 2, or D3 damage meltas, where it just you have 2 attacks, but you're dealing 6 damage in total and only kills 2 dudes. That feels bad. This would just be how mortal spillover applied to torrent weapons. It's really niche. These were like the only 2 models I could find. I didn't like no flamers do it. I think maybe librarians do it. Like this is so niche, but this is just a change that makes
There's the
sense.
Infernus Marines there, and
No,
then
but they're only
obviously
one
there's
damage, so it doesn't matter. It's finding a
yeah.
2 or D3 damage flamer, and there's not too many of those in this game.
Doesn't Sisters have like some units that are like
I didn't
D2,
look at
like
those, I'm gonna be
then
honest, and now I'm like, oh dude, I bet there's like some knight with a fucking damage 3 flavor. I
I
don't know,
was just thinking
just
of the
make
sis.
this shit happen. It's weird when this interaction comes up. We had a situation with like poxwalkers, like and whatever the fuck land raider that is couldn't kill 20 poxwalkers in one round of shooting, and I was like, that feels really weird. It feels kind of weird. All right.
That's fair.
Now
Now
here's
this
my
is one.
controversial opinion.
Wait. I want to actually say this. I agree with you. This is not just your opinion. This is also my opinion.
Cool. I'm glad. Hopefully, I represent us both. So, a lot of the issues that we had with this game was like, haha, go play Horus Heresy. But, like, haha, go look at Ninth Edition with Death Guard. We got to pick for individual units their different plague companies and pick kind of bullets they went into them. And there was so much flavor going into Ninth, and it was really taken away. I did do my research on this just so I could make these points. But we're losing flavor in 40K, and I think it is to make a more streamlined product. There's also a lot of balancing shit that like I never interact with because I don't play competitive, and that's how a lot of this fucking game is balanced around. Just make Crusade the default game mode of 40 Warhammer, where shit is OP, crazy as fuck, because the Crusade rules are busted. Like for some of the factions, you can grace some crazy shit. Just put all the flavor of this game into Crusade, and then have competitive 40k be its own thing. Just balance it. Just
Honestly, I
just
agree.
have what is out in the codexes be what's in that codex, and that's it. Like there's so much
Like,
flavor in Crusade. It's more fun. You can bring in your Legends units. Like we don't have to have the Imperial Armory bullshit. Just have all the fun. Like just have Crusade be the default 40k game, because I think that's what most people are here to play, is having, my fucking unnamed ultramarine with named ultramarine with not a helmet on, fucking kill 8,000 Tyranids. Like that's what, when you read these books, that's what you come in here looking for. Not actually you can't see my model, so I get -1 AP. Like no one's here for this shit. No one's here for true line of sight. Okay, we're here to see, Captain Cool Guy fucking explode evil, Chaos Space Marine. That's what we're here for. and
I
and
agree.
we can't do that in competitive.
And I think, like, okay, to expand on this more, things like Crucible, like, like the characters, like, the create your own ones that we got in this latest,
They're fucking cool.
in the Maelstrom books here,
Yeah.
the Crucible of Champions, I think is a nice start to that. But again, like, it should already be in the game that like, should be able to build your own characters. People want to feel like they're bringing in, like, their, like, shouldn't just be like, oh, auto include Typhus right away, boom, let's go. I don't need anything else. Like, it should be like I bring in a captain, and this captain has like some good legs on him that he can actually like stand up and fight like a Typhus. And it should feel fun to bring, like, make your own characters and like throw enhancements on them that make them beefy.
Let me get attached to my character. Let me bring a character because it's fucking cool, and not because it's gonna get my Hell Blasters or 4-up invul save. That's how I want to play this fucking game.
Yes.
Let me bring a Plague Surgeon for Death Card because I think they're cool. And fucking evil as shit. Um, and
Let me bring a
not and
chaplain that comes in
yeah, like let me
that
pick
like
the
gives everybody a feel no pain for
yeah
like one
yeah
like for like the melee phase
yeah
here because he's just screaming at the top of his lungs.
yeah yeah no.
Like,
I think
let
Crusade should
me
be the
let me do
default.
wacky stuff.
Yeah. Go play Horus Heresy, guys. This is as good as it's gonna get. And then the closing statement, better smut on
This
r
is
slash
wait,
Warhammer
wait, wait. Yeah,
smut.
I was gonna say
I
this
wish
is
my
all
dream to
you.
be real is a great artist. Other than that, thanks for watching, everyone.